Primetime.
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 Primetime. That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime. Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Yeah, it's Friday. Oh, yes, it is. It's Friday. It's XLP. And we're here for the next 2 hours to get you ready. We're going to get you ready for the weekend. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, JJ LaSelva, producing it all, making it sound good. We got a lot to get into. Joe C. taking the day off, but we are loaded today. Loaded with Jags talk, loaded with college football talk. Got a couple guests. Got Mark Long of the Associated Press. We spoke about Mark yesterday, his tweets after the, I don't even know what we're going to call this.
Debacle.
I mean, what else could you call it, actually?
Lackluster.
After the debacle scrimmage.
Ballroom dancing.
Yeah, I mean, those are all fantastic descriptors right there. Mm-hmm. And I think they're all fitting and apropos. Yes, yes, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some college football. Michigan was just fined today by the NCAA, which is just ridiculous and laughable in and of itself. We'll get into that as well. It appears as though the NCAA has, like everyone else in college sports of late, joined the money grab. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk some Jags, but I wanted to first and foremost, thank JJ for paying off a bet. Brought in a nice grandma's pie.
Yeah, we need to thank Tony D's.
Yeah. Tony
Love
D's.
Tony D's.
Delicious.
Yeah, love Tony
crust,
D's.
sauce, everything.
Oh my gosh,
cheese dripping everywhere.
If you're gonna get a pie in this city, the grandma's from Tony D's.
Yes.
What were those things in it? The garlic rolls?
Garlic knots.
They're called
Yes.
knots.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, my God,
I'm
that's
educated.
Yeah. So you can get involved. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosures. And I bring up the fantastic pizza from Tony D's because JJ and I have decided that's going to be our bet. That's going to be our bet moving forward anytime we bet. And we've got another one now. And that segues into the perfect way to lead this program today. Okay? Earlier this week, Cam Ward was at a practice, of course, with the Titans, the number one overall pick. Practice ends. It was a lackluster practice. Cam Ward, the number one overall pick, the guy who hasn't taken a snap in the NFL yet, was standing in the middle of the team like Jesus and the disciples, explaining to them that this can't happen. This stuff's got to end right now.
Bringing bread and fish?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Standing there in the middle of that team. You can go online and see these photos. It's amazing. The team is on one knee around him, and he's standing there. And he's got a scowl on his face. He's not happy.
He's not happy.
He is an alpha dog.
He is.
That's what you want out of your quarterback.
Absolutely.
You've got grown men, vets, who have been in the league for a long time, taking a knee and looking up at a rookie quarterback as he tells them, Leon, this stuff ain't happening. And to me, that's a just stark reality of the differences right now in these two franchises, in the Jaguars franchise and the Titans franchise. I cannot imagine the Jaguars team taking a knee, huddling around Trevor and listening to Trevor and a come to Jesus moment. Because, number one, Trevor's not that person. That's not who he is. But secondly, I can't imagine that team doing that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the quarterback has to be believable. So that means that something in practice or something he's done in the facilities has garnered the respect of the veterans. Because most veterans, when it comes to rookies, they say, man, go sit down somewhere. All right, you're a rookie. But for them to take a knee like that, and I don't know what was said amidst the teammates and what Cam Ward said, but apparently everyone sat there and listened to him. And I can tell you this, week one, I remember calling Mario up, and I said, Mario.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. I said, Mario, what's the deal with the Cam Ward? He said, bro, week one, he's a pit bull. I said, what? He's an alpha dog. I said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, listen, week one, he's checking guys. I said, what do you mean by check? I mean, he's calling guys out in the weight room, in the film room, on the practice field, on the football field, because they're not getting it done. He said, man, you're overweight. You don't watch enough film. You don't work hard enough in practice. And he's saying this week one, bro. He hadn't established anything at Miami. Absolutely nothing. But the reason why he was able to say stuff like that, because he was doing the stuff that other guys weren't doing. And he was calling them out on it. So I can only imagine. I mean, there's rumors. I saw rumors that he gets there 4:30 in the morning, leaves there at 9 o'clock. First one in, last one in.
Last one out, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, you got to be doing stuff from 4:30 to 9 o'clock. So obviously he's putting in the work. And I love the kid when he said in this press, he said, listen, I grew up as a kid, never really having to see my father because he got up so early in the morning, got home so late, I really didn't see him. So he says, well, if my pops can do that for the last 15, 20 years, I know I can do this with football. So the kid's got the right mindset. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to equate to success. I don't know if but he's proven it thus far. You're talking about a no-star kid that went to the first pick overall. By the way, the most disrespected number one to pick overall. Most disrespect. Gets no respect. And I know it sounds like I'm a homer because with the Miami. Yeah, I'm just saying I know because it sounds like a homer, but I've never seen a first pick overall get less attention than Cam Ward's got.
Well, Trayvon maybe.
Yeah, Trayvon.
Yeah, Trayvon. Yeah, Trayvon. You're right. I'll give you Trayvon.
But quarterback-wise, yeah.
But quarterback-wise, absolutely, yes.
You don't think he knows that? You don't think that's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder?
Of course he does.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Trevor has a chip on his shoulder ever?
He did in 2022.
He did the one time before the Texans game on the road. Remember when he posted keeping receipts?
Yeah. Little attitude. Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
That's the guy.
But is he holding teammates accountable? That's a little different than like going at the media.
Yeah, but you're right.
Like at practice, if I'm assuming that the Cam Ward was sort of like going at his teammates for not practicing hard enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's different than like I'm gonna snap back at the media online, right? Like,
much different.
Like of course, everyone was on your team would support that.
Yeah. Well, JJ, once again, as far as football players go, you got to be believable. I mean, in order to, we got to see it. I mean, if Trevor's not getting it done in practice, that he can't. He's not going to garner the respect of his teammates if he goes off at him.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I also think like if he's got that personality, like this was in training camp, so Cam, they all know the media is there. Everybody on that roster knows the media is there. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows the media is watching. Those guys are taking knees, Leon.
They are.
Knees.
Yeah.
You guys got to search for the picture online. There's not one other guy standing. He's the only guy standing in the middle of this group. Everybody else is kneeling all around. It's like he's the head coach. It's literally like Jesus and the disciples. And he's reading them the riot act. He is reading them the riot act. And real quick, I'm gonna do a real quick circle back. This is the bet with JJ and I. I think the Texans will beat the Jags once this year. He thinks
not
the
Texans, Titans.
Titans. He thinks the Titans will sweep the Jags.
No, I think the Jags will sweep the Titans.
Jags. That's right. What am I saying here? He thinks the Titans will the Jags will sweep the Titans. I think the Titans are going to get it one. So that's
just
the bet.
because, I understand and I love all that. Obviously, I'm a huge Cam Ward fan, but I just think their team sucks. You know, and
now we revert back to yesterday. Which brings us all the way back to that wonderful scrimmage yesterday. This is the biggest problem I have with this, and we're going to get into this with Mark Long, and we want to get your thoughts on the text line 641-1010. This is the problem I have. They know they played poorly in the first preseason game. They knew another scrimmage is not typical, correct?
No, it's not.
So this scrimmage was because they played poorly, and it was time to like ratchet it up a little bit. Scrimmage was also 2 days after they went out on the field and worked on fundamentals for the first 45 minutes. How you line up, what your stance looks like, Leon.
Yeah.
45 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you have this scrimmage. They all know this is big. It's time to go out there, ratchet it up a little bit. And it it definitely was the worst practice of this training camp. And it was probably the worst practice of, and we'll ask Mark Long this. He said it was the worst since he saw Blake Bortles throw 5 picks. I guess that would have been, what year was that, JJ? His first year, 2013, 12? Is that right?
I think he said 2012.
2012.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was only Blake. That wasn't the whole team.
Yeah.
2014.
2014.
The whole team looked bad yesterday.
They did. They looked underwhelming. They looked tired, exhausted. And that's disheartening because they only practice an hour. I mean, they warm up like they about to run the marathon. So they warm up for 30, 35 minutes and then practice an hour and then they out there. So that's the most disappointing thing about it. And then that they don't. I don't listen. I think BTJ is going to be an outstanding player, and I might be just running this to the dirt. But I'm just saying that first play signified everything.
Yeah.
About this team is that what you allow in practice, you see on Sunday.
So what happened again?
He ran a little 7-yard out, clearly beat the DB. Trevor threw the ball on spot right in his hands. He dropped it, and he walked right back to the huddle, and no one said anything. No one said, "Hey man, get your mind right. Get locked in, get focused. Let's go." No one said anything. They just let him casually walk back. And the same thing happened in the preseason game. Anton Harrison, first play, supposed to be locked in, supposed to be ready to go. Illegal procedure. Walk back in the huddle. Nothing happened. No one said anything. Nobody chastised him. What's allowed in practice shows up on Sundays.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, Mike Leach used to have this sign in his office, and it said, "You're either coaching it or you're allowing it." Mm-hmm. Period.
Yeah.
And that's. I mean, I'm not. Look, I can tell you this: if that was a college scrimmage or a college preseason game, or like a game against Long Island U or East Texas A&M, and your right tackle, who's supposed to be your best offensive lineman, jumps off sides, pull him.
Yeah.
Pull him for the series.
I believe it. Listen, I lived in a world and environment in my freshman year in Miami that we're out there fall ball, and Michael Irvin comes in the locker room and tells the freshman receivers, "Hey man, y'all dropping too many balls. Drop some more balls and we're gonna leap on you." So, I mean, I lived in that world.
He was dead serious.
He was dead serious.
Yes, that's how you do that. He
told the freshmen that we don't drop balls at the University of Miami. If I catch you dropping too many balls again, me and the upperclassmen are going to leap on you in the locker room. And I was sitting there like, I ain't had no cell phone. I couldn't call nobody. I was like, I couldn't say no
Part of you was a little scared, too.
Hell yeah, I was scared. That was Michael Irvin. I'd never seen him act that way before. Usually he was cool and smooth, but when it came to being on the field, man, he unleashed. He busting the door like Rambo.
Yeah.
Told them freshmen. But you know what? Those freshmen thought about not dropping passes anymore for sure.
Sat up straight quick.
Yeah. And that wasn't just Mike. That was running backs, not fumbling. That was linebackers missing tackles. That was deep. All that kind of thing. They had established guys within every group that were good enough to tell the younger guys, listen, you're here. We don't tolerate that. And, I mean, I don't know if you can use the fear factor in the NFL anymore, but I'm just saying, you got to hold guys accountable. Listen, it ain't your job to be their friend. We all in the business of winning games. I ain't got to be your friend. I mean, got to be no working environment where we all like each other.
Right.
I ain't like everybody in the locker room.
In fact, it's probably better if you don't like each other.
Yeah, I ain't like everybody in the locker room when I was the Jaguars, but I respected them. And all I cared about is you, when Sunday comes around, you be down.
Right.
That's it.
I know I can trust you.
That's it.
Right. All right, we need to go to break. We're going to get into that with Mark Long and a lot more on the other side. It's XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by big #1 Duval Ford, the #1 place to buy your next vehicle. He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Veteran owned and operated with a mission to change your conditions. For AC installs, repairs, maintenance, or ductwork, Ideal Conditions has been trusted by Jackson Mill since 2007. Call Ideal Conditions for a company who shows up on time and gets the job done right.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
IdealConditionsJacks.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer.
weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
All right, we're back in XLP. Real quick before we get to Mark on, we see you guys on the text line, 641-1010. We love your input. The 420 says, Matt Hayes is doing all this for the Titans to win 3 games. True. But there's 2 things there. Number 1 is I'm going to win the bet and the pizza. So that's first and foremost. And number 2, that's what you want out of your quarterback, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right, let's bring on Mark Long of the Associated Press. He has been covering for the Jags. How long, Mark, you been covering the Jags?
I think this is season 22.
Oh, my gosh. Season 22. All right, so let's get right into it, bro. That practice yesterday and all the seasons you've covered, where does that thing register?
At the top, if not the top. And again, Blake Bortles' 5-interception night is memorable because 5 interceptions. You just don't see that very often. The fans were chanting at him when he's walking out about the lemon bar. So it was an ugly night for sure. And they bounced back and they make the AFC title game that year. Kudos to Blake, and he gets paid, blah, blah, blah. This was worse, and I think this was worse because it was everybody. You can't have 7 drops by 7 different receivers, 10 penalties, some of them by the same guy, but 10 penalties across the board, sacks, poor throws by every quarterback. It was just a lackadaisical, just real late in camp. It looked like to me they were tired, and maybe they are. It hasn't been. I know Leon's going to push back here, but I'm not going to say it hasn't been a hard camp, but it hasn't been an easy camp. This isn't Camp Doug Peterson where where they're barely putting on pads and certainly not going to hit and this, that, and the other. This is, I mean, they went pretty aggressively yesterday. It was a good hour and a half of solid scrimmaging. They're not tackling to the ground, but it was a pretty, I think, pretty hefty scrimmage. And maybe they're at the point where they've just been hitting on each other now for a few weeks, been in full pads more often than not since they could put them on. And maybe these guys are just getting a little tired and dragging butt a little bit. That's the only excuse I could make. And we'll hear from the head coach today in a little bit. But that's the only excuse I can make for them, is that this is dog days of camp and it showed up a little bit. But it was the kind of practice where I was stunned that the head coach didn't stop it at some point in the middle, call the team together, and basically chew some butt,
right,
and be like, what is this and what's going on? And again, I think that's first-year head coach still trying to feel his way through. You have a first-year offensive coordinator, first-year defensive coordinator, all those things, maybe allow this to happen. But I can't imagine any other coach who's been here in Jacksonville, or certainly most of them, I can't imagine them watching that and not, even Doug Peterson, stopping that at some point and going, guys, this is not good. Or how about this, Matt? How about your leaders of the team call everybody together and be like, this is not good enough. We're better than this. Let's try again.
Yeah, that part.
What leaders?
What leaders? That's what I was trying to figure out, what part. And I left my violin in the car. I mean, give me a break. I mean, they practiced for an hour. That half is them warming up. Thank you, JJ. I really appreciate that. The dog days of camp, one-a-days, dog days of camp.
I know my audience.
Okay.
So I knew that was going to fall on deaf ears, but there's maybe some reality there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Mark, so, okay.
Global warming, Leon. It's gotten warmer than when we played.
Okay, you're right. Global warming. It's hotter now than it was 30 years ago. You're right. So Mark, okay, all right. So we saw the bad. Now, how do you fix it? Because what you tolerate in practice is what you're going to see on Sundays. Who's going to fix it, the players or the coaches? I agree with you. At some particular point, yes, thank you.
But somebody has to make sure they know that it's on them to fix it. And that's the head coach. That's the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Somebody needs to call them in the room and say, and watch. Maybe it's when they watch the tape and be like, this is not good enough, top to bottom, across the board. Here's what I found interesting. After practice, the one position group that had to run, D-line. And I'm like, D-line wasn't the problem. I didn't run in Fred Johnson, who kept, false starting. I didn't run in my entire receiving core, who dropped, 7 to 8 passes. I would have ran my quarterback, with some of the poor throws they made.
All right, so let's get into some individuals, okay? And let's start right at the top, because this is kind of an issue that everyone's starting to now really focus on. It's been percolating for a while. Brian Thomas Jr. and what in the world is going on with his hands? You were talking about his attitude. Explain what's going on with him.
Well, he's had some drop issues. There's no doubt about it. And throughout camp, it has been a recurring theme. And he's been very animated on the field, throwing his helmet, just very disgusted. And most of that is with himself. But there was an instance yesterday where he turned toward the quarterback and raised his arms like, bro, throw the ball in the right spot.
Right.
And I don't think anybody in that building is going to have a problem with Brian Thomas Jr. being frustrated or even expressing his frustration by, being who he is and letting out some of that stuff. But you can't do it at the detriment of the team, and you can't do it at the detriment of another player. Sure, it was a bad throw, underthrown ball, isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you can't express that in front of, 90 players, 50 media members, guests galore. You can't have that. So I don't know. I don't think it's a problem by any stretch of the imagination. The guy is frustrated. but I could see where people in the building at some point would start going, okay, we can't have it look like this, where you look like you're frustrated with Trevor and, or blaming Trevor for something that clearly people who have watched this team for 3 weeks know that this is not necessarily all on the quarterback. It's a lot of this is Brian Thomas Jr. missing balls that are right there.
He's coming into his diva mode, bro. Was it a bad throw?
The one that he lifted his hands up, yes,
Okay.
it was underthrown.
So Trevor needs to get the ball up. I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, listen, he is clearly the best player on the team from last year. All right, it's no longer Trevor. He's the best player on the team for last. And if he's showing his frustrations on bad balls, now he got to be accountable for himself too, because you can't start the scrimmage with a miss and the ball that goes right through your hands. But if it's Trevor and he throws a bad ball and he calls him out, hell, it was a bad ball.
And conversely, Trevor should say, catch the ball.
And when he missed that ball, that first scrimmage, when he missed that ball in the start of the scrimmage, Trevor should have checked him. So you're not locked in.
You can do it more constructively than necessarily body language from 30 yards away.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the tackle situation, which is interesting because when camp began, the concern was the middle three, and now it's clear they have no idea what's going on at tackle. What's going on with Anton Harrison and the injury? Was he injured significantly or not? And what are they doing right now at tackle?
I think he just rolled an ankle. He definitely needed help to get off the bench and into the locker room. Who knows? I assume he'll be out this week. Not a guy like that. You wouldn't take and rush him back. I don't think. I think you probably give him some time to heal and get fully healthy on that. But the issue for me, Matt, is they want to sell it as, well, now we're cross-training everybody. Well, you didn't cross-train Walker Little in OTA. You didn't cross-train Walker Little through the first 3 weeks of camp. So I have a hard time believing that now, 3 weeks in, you've decided to take your left tackle and move him around because of potential injuries during the regular season. Let me ask you this, Leon, how many different positions did you rep at during your NFL career?
None.
And Tony Baselli never took a different snap other than playing left tackle. And all due respect to Leon, the most important position on the field for any quarterback, probably the right-handed quarterbacks even more so, is left tackle. So you're not moving Walker Little so that there's no – find me a scenario where you would move your starting left tackle because an injury happened somewhere else along the line. It doesn't happen that way.
Well, a guy you also just paid.
Well, that too. But my belief is, and I get it, I know what they're trying to sell. My belief is they have decided that Walker Little is not good enough at left tackle, or not good enough for what they want to do, which is they want to be able to throw the ball. They want to be able to, be very, balanced attack here, but they need to keep Trevor upright, right? It's the most important thing they're planning to do this season is keep him healthy and upright. And you don't do that if you've got a left tackle who's not great at pass pro. And Walker Little's much better run blocker than he has a pass protection. Well, the opposite side, Anton Harrison's a better pass protector than he is a run blocker. So maybe you got those two guys flipped, and maybe you get Anton. But, for them to be deciding that now is a little bit of a head-scratcher. But, again, they didn't have pads. They weren't playing with contact in OTAs. They didn't have pads for the first week of camp. So, maybe it's just taking them a little minute here to figure out, hey, maybe we can do this better and give Anton a shot at left tackle. And that was the plan yesterday, was to move Anton over and have him take some reps at left tackle and have Walker play right tackle. The problem was Anton goes down early in the first series. And so now all of a sudden your whole plan's out the window. They continue to do it. They moved in Fred Johnson at right tackle and then moved Fred to left tackle and Walker to right tackle. But at that point, you're just, you're shuffling the deck that's, without having your ace, basically. You're not having the guy you're trying to shuffle the deck to get to left tackle. So it's a little bit of an odd situation. But And anybody who'll tell you, oh, they're shuffling. Well, they haven't moved Ezra Cleveland. He's not. This guy can play 4 spots. He's played left guard entire camp with the one. They haven't moved Robert Hainsey because he's played center with the ones for every snap in camp. So they're not. This is new, and this is them clearly moving their tackles around to see if they can get a better result. I think the Makari Adoga thing is a domino effect, right? You're rolling with Adoga at right guard. So now it's like, okay, Makari, what do we do with Makari? Well, Makari maybe fits pretty well at right tackle. And then you're going, okay, maybe Anton. So you're moving some pieces, but I don't think it's ideal to be moving pieces this late in camp. At some point, you need to get your 5 and roll with your 5.
And you're going to sit the guy you just paid. He's going to be your swing tackle. Is that what you're telling me?
They didn't pay him.
I get that, but he's still a guy who just got paid.
Very clear. They paid Makari, okay? They paid Makari, and maybe they're looking, hey, how can we get Makari on the field? Makari's a good football player. Okay, so maybe Adoga's been a surprise. Ezra Cleveland's been a big surprise. They love Ezra Cleveland right now. Adoga's been a surprise. He's your right guard. So now they're like, okay, well, just because Makari got a little back injury and missed some time, we still think he's good enough to be in the starting 5. But where does he fit in? Well, maybe he fits in at right tackle. Maybe Anton moves over at left tackle. And by the way, again, reiterate, they did not pay Walker Little.
Well, they're running out of time, Mark, and it feels like a Scrabble board. They're trying to make a word with an L, a Q, a W, a G, and an F.
Yes, I can't argue that. Now, I will say they like a lot. They do feel like they've got a lot of versatility and position versatility on this team, especially in some of these backup spots. We know Makari can play all 5 spots. Wyatt Milan can play 4 spots. Adoga can play inside and out. So there is Ezra Cleveland started at left tackle for the Jags last season. So there is some position versatility along that line, and they know that. I think they've got some pieces. Where does Makari fit in? Where does Fred Johnson fit in? Where does Anton Harrison do you best? And what is Walker Little? Is he a overpaid swing tackle, or is he maybe a right tackle? And here's the problem with that. He doesn't want to play right tackle. He doesn't want to play anywhere but left tackle.
Right.
He's made that very clear, and he made that clear last year, and he's made that clear this year. And he thought, until yesterday, he was settled in at left tackle. And for the last 5 months, it looked that way. And then the Jags threw him a curveball yesterday.
All right, so before we let you go, because we got to run here, Sunday, the Saints, I expect them to play a lot better. I think they'll be crisp. If they're not, if it's the same type of performance they had in week 1, then what?
I mean, then it's probably time to hit the panic button, right? Like, there are people who've already hit the panic button that practice. Certainly the defense against the Steelers. People hit the panic button already. But I think there'll be a wider swath of people hitting the panic button if they're not good on Sunday. I'll say this. Keep an eye on interior defensive line. I know Mason Smith and Eric Armstrong are working their way back. They expect them back next week, maybe even playing against the Dolphins. But the real area to watch is linebacker. They aren't really positive what they've got at linebacker at this point in the season.
Interesting. All right, man. We'll look for it on Sunday. Okay. Bro, great breakdown. Appreciate it.
All right, later. Bye.
All right, that's Mark Long of the AP. We're going to dive into a lot of that stuff because Kaiser was getting reps with the one yesterday ahead of Aluakon. So let's talk a little about that as well. We need to go to break. We'll come back on the other side. It's XLP.
XL Primetime from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Right now at Sonny's, Q Crew Rewards members get free kids meals Monday through Wednesday when dining in. Just another reason why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
They were right. could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. Frank Frangie here for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. Explore trails, kayak Blackwater creeks, or harvest from your own land. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Bari here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Bari Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Cersei, JJ LaSelva, Joe C with the day off. We got a lot to get into from that interesting interview with Mark Long of the Associated Press. We want to get into some college football stuff as well. The Michigan final reading from the NCAA came down today, and it's laughable as usual. We'll get into that a little bit as well. I want to circle back to some of the stuff that Mark said, and I know he talked about linebackers. Linebackers is an interesting thing, but I want to stick on the offensive line and the left tackle specifically, Leon, because that's your wheelhouse. And I get it. This staff didn't pay Walker Little. He just signed a 3-year, $45 million. That's $15 a year, $25 million guaranteed contract.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really going to tell me that guy's going to be your swing tackle?
No, but he's not their guy. I mean, they didn't have anything to do with drafting him or even paying him. So, I mean, they feel that they're in a position where they want to protect 16 at all costs. And they've seen enough film with Walker Little in practice, in the preseason game, that ultimately worries them, that he's not as consistent. I mean, listen, they've come a far distance from who they were with. Who their left tackle was last year?
Yeah.
Tristan Wirth, a perennial All-Pro.
Maybe the best in the game.
Yes, a perennial All-Pro. They went from perennial All-Pro to Walker Little. And that's not a slide on Walker. I mean, he didn't ask to get paid. He got paid. He never won a position here in Jacksonville. He was given it. And we're starting to see the attributes of that, is that he's just not competing. Listen, I don't know the over-under of him getting run over in camp by Josh Allen, but it's at least 2. And you can't have that kind of stuff. I mean, you need to see your left tackle respond accordingly, and he just doesn't take it personal enough, or maybe he's just not good enough.
So I will say this. I think when you look at that entire situation, all right, and I think you got to look at this thing like holistically, because it's what the NFL does is they pay people and they play people, and they don't sit people that make a lot of money. So I think it should be the best 5 guys. Your best 5 guys should be out there protecting the most important piece on your team.
I agree.
If he's not one of the best 5 guys, he shouldn't be playing. And if they do that, if this management group that we've been saying all along is going to turn this thing upside down and do everything they can to change and get the funk out of here, okay? If they do that and they sit him, it will be a glorious day here. Not because I want him sitting, but because they're telling this city and they're telling all these fans, we're going to do whatever we have to do to win games.
Well, I agree with you on that. But let me just say this. Anton Harrison is not an upgrade at left tackle. He's not an upgrade. Fred Johnson, he's not an upgrade
Definitely
at left
not an
tackle. Okay, so, I mean, what do you do? And they know it. They absolutely know. They've seen enough to worry. Because, like I said, they never move Bo to right and they say, hey, Leon, we're going to try you at left tackle, move Baselli to right. No. We had those 2 positions locked down. They could turn their back and know that their bookends are solid. Okay, now we mixed and matched interiorly because no one had really solidified their position. Maybe Ben Coleman at left guard, but all the other guys, they were mixed and match or whatever. So they're mixing and matching left tackle, right guard, and right tackle. And with only weeks away from the beginning
less than 3 weeks, yeah.
Yes, less than 3 weeks from the beginning of the season. That's alarming.
So I will say this: even if Cole Van Landen is healthy, he's not a left tackle. He is not the left tackle.
He's not an upgrade.
So you've got to find one, whether it's Walker Little, Anton Harrison, or even I'd start playing Wyatt Milam there. I'd start giving him extensive snaps. You're
gonna play a rookie at left tackle,
bro. What else are you gonna do?
I mean.
What else? If you're not,
even Jonathan Ogden didn't play left tackle.
If you're not confident, okay, if you're not confident in what you've got, my guess is like if they're really not confident in 72, they're going to move 77 there. And I know you say it's not an upgrade, but maybe they feel more confident in him being there.
Yeah,
because he's clearly the better pass blocker, right?
You know who's to blame for all of this? Walker Little. He's to blame for all this uncertainty. Just play to your.
Not only that, if you look at him just physically. I mean, he's like the prototype left tackle, man.
He looks the part.
Yeah.
He absolutely looks the part. But, I mean, for whatever reason, he doesn't play with a lot of confidence. He plays a lot of high. He catches, he doesn't punt, he doesn't sit. He does not, even when he's coming out of the stance, it's just no assertiveness about it. I'm watching him. Listen, I watch the team. I watch the individual when they go one-on-ones and stuff like that. He's just not playing with a lot of confidence. He just needs a jolt of You know what he needs to do? He needs to go out this Sunday and play banner.
Yeah.
I'm really for real, because sometimes it's like a shooter that it's like a 3-point shooter who's off, but he's got to see a couple of balls go in the bucket.
Yeah,
and then he knows he's got. Listen. I want him. I'm rooting for him because we don't need this uncertainty less than 3 weeks before. I want him to go ball out because sometimes when it comes to players, you got to see yourself doing good on film to give yourself confidence. Because right now, he's reeling. He's being moved. He's reeling. There's probably stuff being said in the locker room, stuff being said in the meeting room with the coaches and all that kind of stuff. And he's reeling. He just needs to see himself playing some good ball once. I'm telling you, all it takes is one preseason game. He goes out there and balls out, pass protects, plays solid, sees himself on film, and now you got that jolt of confidence.
Yeah, and it might just be the idea that he might get benched. Maybe that gives him a little jolt. Look, he played well in 2022. He played really well.
Didn't they all?
Right. So he knows he can do it. He knows he can play in this league.
Yeah, he went up against Khalil Mack. I mean, he went against a perennial All-Pro in a playoff game and played well. Maybe they need to pop that film on. Maybe for anything that he can see that he actually had played well.
Bro, this is you.
This is you, bro.
Right.
Whoever this is sitting next to me,
We need him back. We need this guy
back. Whatever you need to do. Make a phone call. Whatever you need to do.
All right, we need to go to break. We're going to come back in the other side. We're going to get more into this. We're going to get into some college football with Brett McMurphy in the second hour about overrated and underrated teams. I want to get into Michigan's penalty from the NCAA investigation as well. It's XLP.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford. The race is on.
Closing the gap.
Saturday at Richmond.
Fighting for every point.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's high-performance NASCAR station, 1010 XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 15, 2012, Felix Hernandez of the Mariners throws the 23rd perfect game in Major League Baseball history and the 3rd perfecto of the season.
Frank Frangie here to tell you about the coolest new thing, a putting green in my backyard that my friends at Sunshine Turf installed. Sunshine Turf can do the same for you. They'll come to your house, they'll create a custom design for your space, and you'll have an authentic golf course experience right in your own backyard. I freaking love it. Sunshine Turf is family owned and they made the process so simple. So visit sunshineturf.info or call them at 904-383-0243 and get a free quote today for your own putting green. Get it from Sunshine Turf.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light or a Natty or an Ultra. Maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns as the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 23rd. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. This is JJ, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com, Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. We know what cool sounds like. XL Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. It's a Friday. Send JJ your ideas. I love that you roll out Dawkins every Friday.
Yeah, this is like once a week. I love to play this song.
Yeah, that's your go-to.
Exactly. Kiss of Death.
Kiss of Death is your go-to, no doubt about it. A classic. Send JJ your ideas. We'll get them on for you.
We call them song requests in the biz.
Yeah, well.
Don't send me all your ideas.
They do send you ideas, too.
They do.
641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Get your thoughts on the Jags and just, I mean, it's an absolute, there's another way to say it. It's a freak show right now out there. I mean, honestly, it is.
I agree with you, bro.
I mean, we're like almost 4 weeks in, and it's just an absolute freak show out there. It's unfortunate because, I mean, you know, I really like actually these. I love the draft. I thought the draft was fantastic. I'm so happy that Bo's over there, right?
Yeah.
I like Liam Cohen. He's got a little edge to him. I like the fact that he calls out people publicly. I love that. I was begging Doug Peterson to call out people. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that he does that. But, man, it is – I say freak show because it's the word I want to use is not a word that the FEC is going to be too excited about me saying.
I understand.
Completely. So, look, here's Baloo. So Baloo's tweeting from it's a walkthrough from the walkthrough today. Okay, Baloo's tweeting from the walkthrough right now. He says, "Fred Johnson."
It might be a real practice. I'm not sure.
There's no way they're practicing. It's a walkthrough. I guarantee it is. Fred Johnson, you would think that, correct, Leon?
Yeah,
got to be a walkthrough. I mean, unless he's like so angry and fed up with it and sees the freak show that they're going full again. No, they don't have pads on. It's a walkthrough. They have no. It's literally helmets and shorts. Fred Johnson at right tackle, Wyatt Milam at right guard, Harrison and Udoga out. The next text from Baloo is Fred Johnson comes out at right tackle, Wyatt Milam goes from right guard to right tackle, and Patrick McCarry to right guard with the ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds like a fire drill that's going on right there.
Bro, it's like Keystone Cops out there right now.
Yeah, well, they're down two. All right.
That's true,
They're down two. They're down. They're right guard.
Doug
they're right tackle.
and Harrison. Right.
Yeah, so they're down two. So you got other guys who aren't dressed. I mean, so the walkthrough is the time to do the mixing and matching.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's to do the mixing and matching. Get guys mentally equipped to where they may, in the preseason game, have to play a little right guard if you're a left tackle, and so on and so forth. So I'm not.
Right. To be fair to them, here's another thing, too. Like, we're all just like, we're all crushing them about the line and all. They're just as pissed off about it. Yeah. They're just as confused about it. They're just as perplexed about it. Like, they're the same as fans are right now. They don't know why Walker Little isn't playing to his ability. They don't know why Walker Little is literally the prototype left tackle, size, ability, length, everything, and can't play. They don't know why, right?
No, they're probably right now they're probably a little bit more animated in meeting rooms because I was once an assistant coach, never an NFL assistant coach.
Right.
But I know what those meetings go like where certain guys don't play to their potentials and look lackluster. Yeah, they're a lot more animated in their meeting rooms right now. So, yeah, but they got to figure it out. No one cares that your two guys are down.
Right.
No one, and listen, in this business in NFL, no one cares. They're not going to get any sympathy from anybody in the league when they line up, whether they got their left tackle. Teams are trying to crush them. So they just got to get over it. They got to figure it out because less than 3 weeks, you're going to line up at home against the Panthers. And no one is going to say, there's not going to be any well-wishers that says, oh, do you know the Jaguars had these issues in training camp and maybe this. No. Everybody's going to be out to destroy them. So they might as well figure it out now.
Not only that. Okay, not only that, but that game against that just bad Panthers team right now, bad Panthers roster, that's looming.
Yeah,
and I'm not even just saying it's looming because it's the first game of the season. I'm saying it's looming because if something bad happens that first week, oh boy.
Like,
oh boy,
you're not insinuating when I think you're insinuating.
All I'm saying is you've got a heavy lift in the month of September. You cannot afford to lose that first game.
I agree.
Okay? And here's another thing, too, is even if Harrison and Edoga weren't out with injuries, they'd still be scrambling. It would still be a scramble drill right now, would it not?
Yeah, I agree. Listen, there's nothing about the line right now that gives me any confidence. Just one guy, the lone wolf.
Ezra, that's it.
Ezra Cleveland, that's it.
See, I think Edoga has proven that
He's got potential. Yes, I
think he's proven he can play
at guard, not tackle.
Yeah, I think Macari, if he's healthy, also solid. Solid. Yeah. Hainsey's just look. What else you got? Hainsey's one of those. What else you got? And he hasn't been bad. He can't.
Yeah, he hasn't been good. He hasn't been bad. He's been okay. He's been tolerable. He still can't stop a bull rush.
All right, so give us your thoughts on the text line. What you would do with the offensive line? 641-1010. We'll read some in the second hour. I think it's going to be as simple as when everybody's healthy. I think it's going to be Edoga at right guard, Macari at right tackle, and they're going to move Anton to left tackle because it's clear that the guy you're paying $45 million is not working out. All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back, start hour number 2 here on XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies. Taking your sports day into the night.
Guaranteed to give you unbelievable power.
Into the night with Rick Ballou.
That guy could be a movie star.
Then Hacker After Dark.
They happen to be the hottest thing in the country.
Evenings on 1010XL.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
1010XL and Channel 4 are partnering to bring you more high school football coverage than ever before. Check out our live streaming show on the multimedia platforms for both 1010XL and Channel 4 as games are happening live, debuting August 22nd, presented by Farrah and Farrah.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home cleaned from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, pay $0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, you heard it right. That $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. This makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, just $100 a month? Say goodbye to high interest rates. Get the relief you deserve at Beard's Diamonds. But hurry, this incredible offer ends August 31st and will not be extended. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, only $50 a month? Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with $0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, necklaces, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let our non-commissioned experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center, Jacksonville's premier locally owned jeweler. Shop now and enjoy zero interest financing for 5 years. Hurry, this amazing offer ends August 31st. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street. I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Some news out of Gators camp. Defensive lineman Caleb Banks is being sidelined with a lower leg injury and is currently in a walking boot. Banks' injury isn't thought to be serious as he's considered day-to-day. It's day 2 of the BMW Championship, the last PGA Tour event before the Tour Championship next weekend. Robert McIntyre has the lead currently at 11 under after an impressive 62 yesterday. It's 92 degrees at 101. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
All right, we're back on XLP. We're going to just kind of hit neutral here, okay? Everybody take a deep breath. Keep firing away your projected offensive line ideas. The text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. We'll read those after our next guest. We're gonna kind of get a little off-ramp, let everybody take a deep breath. We're going to talk a little college ball with Brett McMurphy of On 3 Sports. Brett, good afternoon. How are you? Brett, you still there? JJ, we lose him?
No, we did.
All right, all right, we'll get him back. We'll get him back. So what we want to talk to Brett about. Brett, you around?
I got you. Sorry
all right, bro. No problem.
Difficult.
The problem is you've got, all your sources calling you and you're trying to break news and, we clearly are not at front of mind right now for you. All right, bro.
Or I forgot to take the mute button off.
Right, that. Right. I was just trying to make you look better. So you did a kind of a feature earlier this week about the most underrated teams of the top 25 since 2014 and the most overrated teams, the AP top 25. Explain how you did that and then some of the oddities.
I did, yeah. And, the responses obviously are, how is team X overrated or how is team Y underrated? This is a bunch of garbage. Well, actually, it's not garbage. It's based simply on the rankings of the preseason AP top 25 every year in the college football playoff, like you said, since 2014, and comparing that with the final AP ranking. So obviously you can't be overrated unless you are ranked in the preseason top 25 poll.
Correct.
So if you're never ranked in the top 25 poll, I don't care how you can be Kent State. You cannot be overrated because you've never been rated. On the flip side, the underrated are teams that either were or were not in that preseason poll, but finished the year either ranked, if they were not ranked at the outset, or they were ranked higher than they were ranked in the first poll. And I took all 11 years, basically gave points for the difference in the rankings from the start of the year to the end of the year. Added them all up and spit out a top 25, and that's why Alabama is, I think, the 10th most overrated team. And people are like, how in the world is that possible? They've won a boatload of national championships and SEC championships. Well, when you start out the year ranked, in the top 3 every year, and some years you don't finish in the top 3, you lose points. So, don't shoot the messenger. But obviously, Alabama's nowhere near the most overrated. That title goes to another school.
Well, I got to ask you a question about the number 9 team because, quite frankly, over the last decade, we haven't been ranked in the top 25 forever, as far as I'm concerned. I'm looking at number 9. Any idea who that is?
That would be
CANES.
the green and orange.
That part.
Is that the right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Or do you guys have a specific color combo, or is it just green and orange?
It's green and orange.
Sometimes you wear those wicked.
We might throw some white in there every now and then. Yeah, green.
No, I know. It's like OU's crimson and cream, and it's all the you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm pulling up Miami right now. So, Leon, in the 11 years, Miami 4 times they finished with a better final ranking than they did in the preseason. And 3 times they finished with the worst ranking. Now, the problem is the 3 times they had a worse ranking, they started the year in the 2 years they started in the top 10 and they finished unranked, which is hard to pull off. And then the other year they started
last year. What do you mean it's hard to do?
They started out 14th and finished unranked. So the 4 years that you finished better, you only improved by like 5 spots. So you had slight improvement. So you've been ranked in the preseason top 25 7 of the 11 years. 4 years you had a slight improvement, but the 3 years you had drastic drop-offs, and that's why you got penalized so much. So that's just how it turned out, man.
I mean, to be fair, they're also overrated. That's kind of the reality of the situation.
Last year you started 19th and you finished 18th. So you actually benefited from that. Okay?
He's not happy.
That's progress.
He's not happy right now, Brett.
One spot at a time.
But, I mean, to your point, Brett, the 25 most overrated teams, every blue blood you can imagine is in there. I mean, USC is number 1. Yeah. LSU's in there. Florida State, Oregon, Oklahoma, Miami, Michigan. They're all there. Georgia's number 14. Alabama's number 15. Clemson's number 16. That's a combined, 10 national titles from those 3 since 2009. I mean, it's Ohio State's in it. They're the number 25.
Well, they're 20. Yeah, they're 25. But real quickly on Miami, in 2021 you started out 14th. You finished the year unranked. In 2018 you started out at number 8. You finished the year unranked. So that's why Miami's up there.
You're picking scabs right now. You know that. You're picking scabs for him right now.
I'm sorry, bro. USC number 1. USC has been ranked in the preseason top 25 10 of the past 11 years. They also were not ranked in the top 25 this year, so that's good news. Of those 10 years that they were ranked in the top 25, they finished with a worse overall ranking 8 of the 10 seasons. And that is not all Lincoln Riley. So, but of those 8 times they've been in a worse ranking, 4 of those times they fell completely out of the top 25. So that's why USC is sitting at the top at number 1. Auburn came in at number 2. Auburn actually hasn't even been ranked in the preseason poll since 2020, and they weren't this year. But again, this goes back to 2014. So for the first 5 years of the 6 years of the college football playoff, Auburn had 3 different teams that started the season in the top 11. 2 of those by Gus Malzahn, and they finished the year unranked. So that's why they're there. And then finally, Texas A&M is on a streak not seen in probably 20 years. The last 4 years, they have started in the preseason top 25. And the last 4 years, they have finished the year unranked. They start this year in the top 25. Can they continue that streak from ranked to unranked? So that's a little nugget on your top 3 right there.
All right, let's move to Michigan real quick. All right, We got a few minutes remaining. Let's move to Michigan. The NCAA's ruling came down on this just unbelievable situation that we've seen unfold here in the last year and a half. The NCAA is going to fine them probably as much as $25 million for cheating. Jim Harbaugh gets a 10-year show cause. He's never come back to college football anyway. Their head coach gets a show cause. But this is where we're seeing now. This is what the NCAA is going to do now. They're just going to jump into the money game like everybody else. They're just going to find people, get the money, and probably doing their best to pay off that $2.8 billion that they owe back pay to players, right?
Yeah, and I tweeted this. It's not this simple, but it is this simple. What college program out there would not pay $20 million to win a national championship?
Yeah, well, Ohio State did.
Every single one that could afford it or by hook or crook could get that money. There's really and you brought up a great point, Matt, because we go back to the old days and look, my alma mater, Oklahoma State. Hey, we were
renegades.
We were some of the legends as far as cheating goes. I talked to our late great, very great friend Mike Slive. He was on the NCAA enforcement penalty, and he told me before that Oklahoma State came so close to getting the death penalty for all the crap we did. But you know what? And everyone, I always say Hartley Dykes, he's the best wide receiver money could ever buy, and he was worth every single penny.
Yep.
But the difference now, Matt, is they won't. The biggest way to penalize these schools is to postseason ban or take them off TV.
Right.
That's how they used to do it. The good old days, as they call it.
Right.
The problem with that is they cannot do that anymore. And the reason is tied, ironically, to money. If you do that, you're not only penalizing, we'll say Michigan. If you do that, you're not only penalizing Michigan, you're penalizing everybody in the conference.
Yeah.
Because now your TV deal is worth less money than you signed up for. And there's no way that anybody on the face of the earth, because, again, the members of the Committee on Infractions, they represent all different walks of life, different conferences, heck, different divisions within the NCAA, all these different things. So nobody is ever going to agree to handing out a postseason or TV ban. And so, the only thing you have left is to just, okay, we're going to fine you a lot of money, and we're going to give your former head coach a show cause, and which he's never coming back to college anyway. And there's really nothing you can do. I mean, I've probably used this bad line before with you guys, so I apologize, but it's the wild, wild west, but I don't want to insult the wild, wild west. There's nothing the NCAA can do. Nothing. Money doesn't matter. They have 100,000 fans for 7 or 8 home games every year. How long is it going to take them to recoup that? Plus
right.
all the donors and all that stuff, who now everyone will rally. Well, let's show the NCAA, everybody, take out your life savings and help the program. So, I actually had 2 Michigan fans tweet me after it came out, and they're like, one was a Simpsons parody of, draw the line where it's really going to hurt us.
Right.
And another one's he's wearing a Michigan shirt and he's holding a hammer in his hand. Like, oh, this is really the hammer, huh?
Right.
So I think Michigan fans are thrilled by this. To be very honest.
No doubt. Listen, man, great stuff. Really appreciate your time.
You got it. Hopefully the Canes can be the most underrated team this year, Leon.
I hope so.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, JJ, while we're in there going on with Brett, we got a little that. Give me a that.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, Jaguars coach Liam Cohen just said this after practice about rookie wide receiver Travis Hunter.
Yeah, just the upper body deal he's got a little bit and just precautionary.
So he's going to play Saturday or something?
We'll figure that out. Yeah, we don't know yet.
We'll figure that out. Usually means he ain't playing, right?
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Just another thing.
All right, just an upper body injury for Travis Hunter. Who knows what it is? I mean, if he's saying it's just precaution, that's good. That's very good, actually. So we'll see. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back on the other side, get more into the Jags and the NFL. We also, by the way, have our doc, George Bari, here. We'll do a little seg with our doc. Coming back, XLP.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Big number one Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service-first experience. Big number one Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
In late July, Florida's unforgiving heat beats down on the practice field. Every time something you need to know happens at training camp, you'll hear about it on 1010XL, covered by Greenacre Sporting Goods and Roland Reach Plumbing.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable, high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made, and make an outdoor kitchen custom-built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Leonard Skinner is coming home, and they're bringing the Stars and Stripes. Celebrate Southern rock and American pride with Leonard Skinner Rocks the Red, White, and Blue. It's a special night to support St. Michael's soldiers and the brave men and women of our armed forces.
Singing songs about Southland.
Saturday, November 8th at Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now, only at Ticketmaster. Daly'sPlace.com for details. Be there when Skinner rocks, for those who serve.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor, outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
He's our guy, George Bari. Gio came in a little early.
Yeah.
Listen to a little college football talk, huh?
I was sitting in the corner listening to you guys.
Yeah.
He's dropping.
Yeah. All right, so the big news the Jaguars walked through today. Travis Hunter has an upper body injury. Precautionary.
Yeah.
Still don't know whether he's held out today out of precautionary reasons. Still don't know whether he will, play Sundays. An upper body injury.
Yeah.
If it were like an elbow or a wrist, they would have said elbow or wrist. So upper body's got to be like shoulder, sternum, I mean, maybe even core, right?
I mean, look, technically it could be anything.
Collarbone.
Right. I mean, technically it could be anything.
Ribs.
I guess I understand your argument, but, the other way is if it was his collarbone, they would just say his collarbone. If it was his core, they'd say his core. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Who knows? But it could, in theory, be anything above the waist.
Dinged. How about that? Why don't they just say he was dinged?
I don't know. You got to ask him.
Right? I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're always vague, and it's like they might as well just say he's hurt because the upper body doesn't give you anything.
Right, because you are the team doctor of the Jacksonville Sharks. If I were to ask you about an injury, would you say upper body or would you say he broke a rib?
Well, look, I would, if I could say specifics, I would, unless the team is instructing, to be vague, and that's different. If the team has their own set of rules and internally they said, listen, we're not going to be specific on this injury, it's a different story.
Because they don't want players going after him in games.
Yeah, right. They might not want, them to pull on that arm, like it's that shoulder,
I get that.
tug on that shoulder.
Right, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, that's nothing new though. We did that back in the day. As far as on the injury report, yeah, you get
lower body,
upper body, yeah, that kind of stuff. Whatever.
Never got head, huh?
Nah. It's withstood the test of time. so Doc, yesterday in the scrimmage, Odoga, who's our starting right guard, he got rolled up by our running back who couldn't block the Mike Fire, and so they're saying that he had what was it, JJ? He had an ankle.
Well, he just said lower body.
I saw him limping off. It was
another vagueness. Lower body extremity.
Yeah.
So how do we account for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're saying it's an ankle. So, these guys that get rolled up at the line of scrimmage usually, they can get their knees twisted and their ankles, right? Those are the two biggest things. And that's why O-linemen always wear braces. I'm sure you probably wore a brace because you did not?
I was too athletic.
Yeah. So, but it's been proven to prevent MCL injuries, right? Because they get rolled up a lot. But yeah, these knees and ankles get rolled up a ton. Now, he could have as basic as an ACL, as an ankle sprain, right? You're out a week, 2, 3, who knows. Or you can have I don't know which way he got rolled up on. You can get a high ankle sprain, a little bit more.
Well, he was limping off.
He fell the running back fell on the back of his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a high, he wouldn't have gone off on his own, right?
You can't, listen, I've had people with fractures walk on it. Their bones are broken and they're walking off the field. So everyone's a little different, and you have adrenaline pumping, which definitely can change things. And so it's just, I guess we'll wait to see how long he's out for with this lower body injury thing. But if it's a high ankle sprain, it's going to be a little bit longer than just a normal, regular ankle sprain.
All right, here's an intriguing one. Packers quarterback Jordan Love recently underwent surgery to repair a torn ligament in his left thumb. Now he sustained the injury, which was a torn ulnar collateral ligament.
Yeah.
Like what?
In the thumb.
You couldn't say upper body for that, right? What would you say for like the thumb?
I'd say thumb injury. You can say hand.
Lower arm.
You can say hand. Who knows? So the thumb UCL. If you just put your hand in front of you and looked at your thumb, the UCL is where kind of that webbing of where the thumb and the fingers, right? So it prevents your thumb from popping out. There's names for it. There's skier's thumb. So imagine you're skiing and your ski gets caught in the ground, and it pushes back on your hand.
It's not good.
And also gamekeeper thumb. Back in the day when you would shoot, I don't know, like a bird or something, people still do, but more often back then,
Right.
and they would just try to finish it off and snap the neck of whatever animal. The repetitive motion would cause that ligament to degenerate.
Like chickens, when you're snapping the next.
Yeah, and it can degenerate over time, over use. So that's the UCL of the thumb, not of the elbow. There is a nice procedure for it. People do really well. There are studies on return to play for the NFL players. It's usually about 5 or 6 weeks when they can come back, and that's at the earliest. So he could come back 5 or 6 weeks from now, but of course that's the average and kind of early and maybe longer depending on how he does and how the thumb is and the flexibility and the pain. So that's why they decided to do it now, because you have 3 more weeks before the season starts.
Less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, so he might miss if he's lucky, he'll miss 2, maybe 3 games.
Really?
On the fast end of rehab, possibly, and come back.
Because they were saying Love's expected to be easing back into practice next week.
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
Should be ready for the regular season opening against the Lions.
Was that 3 weeks?
September 7th.
That's quick.
That's quick, right?
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks in a couple days.
Well, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I would expect more 5 or 6, but, who knows?
Well, I'm going with you because, you're our doctor. All right, so AR, Anthony Richardson, another injury, this time a dislocated pinky.
Yeah.
He's run the gamut now.
Yeah, he's everything. So, a lot of upper body injuries.
Right. Lower hand, lower arm. All right, so but the pinky is simply that can be taped, can it not?
So dislocation. Yeah. Look, there's different types of dislocations, and then you can dislocate where, you can see Leon's fingers. Looks like he's probably dislocated a couple times.
How many times you tape your fingers once they were dislocated?
Well, I started taping my fingers when I started getting dislocated fingers.
His fingers are cross-eyed.
Yeah, so you tape the two here.
Right.
That's how
the
you
old
tape.
Spock one.
Yeah.
Just so it wouldn't get.
So you keep them together. You want to make the two as
splint.
one.
It's like an internal. Yeah. It's like a splint.
And you can still punch with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a fierce.
Okay.
So you have a dislocation. If you have a fracture with it, a little different. It depends how it's dislocated and if it's still unstable. Because in theory, if it's still unstable, you have to put it in a splint and kind of lock that finger, get it tight to scar in.
Right.
You don't want to bend it. If it's not super unstable, you can start bending it right away.
Right.
So it just depends how unstable it is after the initial dislocation, and to see if you can just start moving it or if you want to splint it for a little bit.
Right. And if it becomes a problem with him throwing the ball too, obviously.
Right. That's the other thing.
Okay.
Right.
When does the Bari podcast return?
So we're going to start the first week of the season.
First week of the season.
So a couple weeks.
All right. Where can everybody get it?
So Sunday, 7:30. That's the plan here, and then we'll put it up as a podcast like we always do.
Oh, it's going to be live.
Well, we used to always air at 7:30 Sunday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Live.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Great.
Oh, no, I only listened on the pod. It was easier that way.
I tried to get him on as a guest. Like, I'm not waking up that early. I'm not
early
coming in.
I got stuff I'm doing all the time. All right, bro. Thanks for the breakdown.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's George Bari Orthopedics. JJ, let's go to a break. We'll come back. We're going to get more into the Jags and maybe a little college football, but more Jags because I told you guys, give us your ideas for your offensive line and what it should look like. We'll get into some of those as well.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
If your house feels like a Florida swamp and your thermostat's just throwing out suggestions, then it's time to call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
They showed up fast, fixed it right, and even cleaned up after. My house is finally chilled, and so am I.
Whether your AC needs a quick fix, a full replacement, or just a little TLC, Duck Duck Air Conditioning has got you covered with fast and honest service. Call 904-862-6769 to get your cool back, or online at duckduckac.com. When your AC is stuck, call the Duck.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Clayton, you talk a lot about a diamond's cut grade. Why is a diamond graded for cut?
Frank, that's simple. We cut grade diamonds to show a measurement of beauty and light return to the person looking at the diamond so they can understand the value difference between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one cut for maximum weight. Now, it gets a little more complicated when you find out that the American Gem Society Laboratory actually assigns performance grades and proportion grades using patented computer software and grades for polish and symmetry using a microscope. The end result of cut grading is a final grade that can go from a 0 or ideal to a 10, which is poor. Each of these grades are priced a little differently. That's why you can see a diamond with a fine color and clarity priced low, particularly on the internet, because a trained gemologist won't buy it for resale because of the poor cut. Unfortunately, these type deals aren't good deals. They're bad deals for the unknowing customer.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified, fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, would your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. We are seeing all your texts about what in the world to do with this offensive line. One guy even said that, okay, first off, everybody's in agreement that Walker Little got a problem, except for one guy. One guy says Leon's jealous of Walker Little. Jealous of the money.
Never that.
Well, first off, we're all jealous of the money. He got $25 million guaranteed, so we're all jealous of that, right?
Yeah. First of all,
he also says Baselli doesn't talk about Walker Little like you guys do.
Ooh.
As if a person who's literally
working for the team
would ever give an opinion like
would ever
that.
publicly say that, even if he wasn't on the team.
Don't
Like,
be
if they
so
just traded
naive.
him, right?
Exactly, that part. Well, I didn't know Walker Little had an official fan club.
I'm thinking it might be
Either that or it might be Walker Little texting it.
Member one.
All right, there's more movement on that offensive line today. They're trying all different combinations, ideas. They're doing everything they can to find the best five, which is good. At the end of the day, that's good. Just get the best five out there. And Liam Cohen talked about that today after the walkthrough.
Yeah, I think it's just giving people opportunities to see what they can do with each group and also filling in and making sure that we're able to finish the scrimmage and it's not a mess. So, I thought that Fred and, and Wyatt specifically, Makari bounced around, but they all had moments and they've all been able to do some positive things, but we got to remain like the consistency of that, whether it's the swing tackle or whomever it is. Consistency is, as you guys know, the key, and it's one thing to have splash plays or you dump somebody, but then we, have an MA the next play. Like, that's too much of a roller coaster for offensive line play at times. So I was pleased with the guys being able to step up and take extra reps, especially when those two guys went down.
Yeah, the key part is the two guys went down, and it was a walkthrough. You don't have to sound the alarm right quite yet. You just want to make sure you're letting these guys know on Friday, come Sunday, because we're down two. We're not sure if these guys are going to be healthy or not. Then we may move you around a little bit. So I don't have a problem with that as long as wherever the guys you move them to play, they play well.
Right.
They've got to play well.
All right. So here's the thing with Walker Little. And we appreciate him texting and saying Leon's just jealous of the money. Here's the thing. He's got to play well Sunday.
I hope he plays well.
If he doesn't play well Sunday, I think they move on that next week. Not trading him, right? They move to something else. They move to a different idea. Because you've only got 2 weeks at that point to figure out and get these guys in a situation where they trust each other, right?
Yeah, but Anton's hurt. I mean, if this injury lingers, then you're going to go with Fred Johnson?
Well, they didn't say it was anything lingering, did it?
Well, they said lower body.
That's true.
And I saw him. I saw him in the first drive when they went down and scored that touchdown. The first drive, after every play, he was limping. He was noticeably limping. I didn't know
every play.
After every play, he was noticeably limping. After they scored the touchdown, he came out. He didn't play anymore.
Don't bring that bad funk on.
Well, I'm just saying it was either a knee or it was an ankle. One of the two. It was. And I couldn't tell if his sets were bad because of it, because he sets the same way.
Yeah, he's the only guy that can play left tackle. You can't. I mean, I said Milam earlier, but you're right. That's a lot to ask.
That's a heavy lift.
Day one for a rookie to go out there left tackle, and Anton's the only guy that can play left tackle. So, I guess at this point, unless Anton is back next week, he's your guy. Walker Little is your guy, is he not?
Yeah, he has to be. That's what I'm rooting for. I want people. Fans, I'm not jealous at all.
Even though he texted and said you're jealous of his money?
I'm not jealous. Absolutely not. Right. Not jealous of his money. Okay, so I want him to play well. I played for the Jaguars. I'm a legend here. Why wouldn't I want this team to succeed?
Of course.
What are you talking about? No, I want him. And I said that he has to see himself playing well. Because right now he's in a funk. He's in a funk. In practice, he's in a funk. He was a funk in the games. He doesn't play with a lot of confidence. So he needs this New Orleans game to get himself back on track. And I'm telling you, if he sees himself doing good, that could be the difference.
Right. And that's another thing, too. We all want them to play well. Of course we do. We'd much rather be covering a team that wins than one that doesn't. Okay? And we are your eyes out there at practice. You guys can't get out there. You're only out there so many days, and that's it. It's locked off for you. So we're just telling you what we see. It's not like we're coming in here being negative because we just want to be negative to make you guys feel bad. That's the reality of what's happening. In fact, Liam Cohen spoke about the scrimmage today. Liam, JJ, let's play that.
I think we went down the field, scored on the first drive on a 14-play drive. Just thought we did some good things. I just thought, again, the same issue that has crept up a number of times has been the pre-snaps, right? Pre-snaps, and I don't know, we have 6 drops again, I think. Maybe have been an 8. I almost thought it was 8. So, that's fatigue. That's lack of concentration when you're getting fatigued and tired. Again, every time we come out, like they go hard. And Tuesday was our biggest volume day of camp thus far. And you could see even with the off day Wednesday, some guys were still feeling the effects of it. And I think there's just, again, the lack of detail and concentration when you do start to fatigue and it does get tiring and you do go on long drives. And, I thought it was still some decent back and forth.
All right. So I wouldn't say that he's making excuses for them.
He's giving them a leash.
Yes.
I don't like the leash.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's giving them a little bit of a leash. But I will say this, too, to their defense. It's hot as hell out there, man. That's number one. It's in the hundreds. On the field, it's got to be in the 110s, 115s. They're out there for that scrimmage was a good hour and 15, right? It was a solid 75-minute scrimmage that was. And they were getting after it. So
you're giving them at least 2.
Wait, I'm not. I'm going to throw the butt in first. Hang on.
All right.
Okay? But I will say this. In the fourth quarter of games, guess what? You're dog tired. Dog tired. In the fourth quarter games, that's when those pre-snap stuff will kill you. A pre-snap false start, a pre-snap illegal motion that can take away a touchdown. You don't think we've seen that before?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of all this. It's if you're doing it now, it's more than likely going to be a problem later, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A high school coach told me this one time: fatigue makes cowards of us all. All right, but you got to find a way to fight through it. Because I gotta. When you're false starting, I gotta. The guy next to me, I gotta trust him, and he's going to do his job, and he's going to do it correctly. Because I'm putting the pressure on myself to get it done, and the heat is your ally. It's absolutely your ally. If you can overcome this heat, this pressure, with the drives that you have in Florida, other places they don't have this kind of heat and humidity. So deal with it. Deal with it. Make it your friend. Embrace it. Yes, embrace it. Because many times I was in the fourth quarter and I'm dog tired, and I'm just all I got to do is look across the field. That guy across from me, he's even more tired. I know he is.
Right.
If he wasn't, I told myself how he was. I told myself, that guy over there tired. I know I'm tired, but I know that I've practiced in this. This is my home. The heat is my home.
Right.
We're going to win this because I have that competitive advantage in the game over you.
Plus, the pre-snap penalties are just killers. Like if this was the Panthers game, they come out on the field offense first, and Anton jumps, and it's 1st and 15. They're not going for that fourth down.
No, that's
like they did on that drive.
Bro, those are drive killers.
Killers.
You can't have that.
That drive ended in a touchdown. If they punt against the Panthers, you're taking 7 off the board there.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, that's also does that not get into the collective head of not only the offense, but the play caller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the head coach. The ideas of what plays we're calling, what decisions I'm going to make. Well, this happened last time. We got to do this to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, it's important in the huddle. That the one thing that I could appreciate with Brew was that when he was in the huddle, I don't care how tired we were, heads up. Everybody, even the offensive line made sure you got your head down, this, and that, whatever. You keep your head up so you can look. You can look at the play call, the formation, and the snap count. That's what you got. Play call, formation, snap count, break. Well, for him to come out there on the first play of the preseason game and jump off sides lets you know that he wasn't totally locked in. Because you got to have eye contact with the quarterback. You got to hear the play call, formation, snap count.
First play of the scrimmage.
Yeah. First play of the preseason game. Yeah, jump off sides. Come on, bro. You can't be locked in. You can't be enthralled with football and jump off sides the first play.
Right.
Can't do it. It's just that, and it's over, it's past, it's done. But you can't have those kind of plays because what's tolerated, like I said, what's tolerated in practice will come up and show you and bite you in the rear in games on Sunday. And like you said, if we do that against the Panthers first game, yeah, listen, now we're 1st and 15. Now all the game plan that we had to have some kind of fluidity has gone away.
Gone out the window.
Gone out the window.
Yep.
Now you put Trevor in a situation where he's got to stress to get yards because instead of being, second and, run the play 2nd and 5, now, you're 1st and 15. So
now it's, instead of it being 2nd and 3,
yes,
now it's 2nd and 8.
Yep,
because you lost 5 yards. That's a much more difficult play call than before, and it's a much more difficult play in the NFL to succeed at. All right, we're gonna go to break. We're gonna come back, kind of wrap this thing up. It's XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford Mobile Service. Game-ready service right to your driveway.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway Sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Attention sports fans! Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the big games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Bet anywhere, win here, only at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, my takeaway is that I'm not picking on Walker Little. I want him to play better for the safety of 16, all right? Listen, I've been in that funk before. First year starting Pittsburgh Steelers, gave up 3 sacks in one game. Bill Cowher pulled me to the side for a series. I gathered myself. But I was in the funk. My confidence was shot. And then a teammate of mine rolled up on me and said, hey, let's go talk. Took me to a bar, Sweet Georgia Brown. Had 7 and 7s. He looked me dead in the eye. He said, Big Sirs, you ain't playing like the old dog back in the day in Miami. You need to get your stuff together or I'm going to ask you to be replaced. Okay? So I'm rooting for Walker Little. All he's got to do is see himself playing good to just bounce back, snap back right to the 2020 Walker Little we saw.
Right, 2022 Walker.
2022 Walker Little that played well against Khalil Mack. That's what we need. And I'm hoping he finds himself because right now he's lost.
Yeah, my takeaway is it's the reason we're so focused on the offensive line because I know this is going to shock everyone. We knew this was going to be a problem entering camp. We just thought it was going to be the middle three. We thought the outside guys would be on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6, right? It was fairly safe.
Yeah,
fairly safe, and it's not right now. And that means the number one guy in the entire organization has problems. When you have tackles that can't protect, that's going to be a problem for Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor's, I said this a couple days ago, and Joe kind of got mad when I said he thought I was being too negative. he said he thought that Trevor had, what kind of camp that I think Trevor was having. And I said, he's just having a camp. He's not having a good camp, I'll tell you that. Would you agree with that, Leon?
I agree.
He's not having a good camp. He's very up and down. Our coach, Mark Duffner, said the same thing. He's very streaky. The last thing he needs right now is more problems from the offensive line. So that's a big, big issue. And he's got to play well Sunday. They got to play well Sunday. And here's the best part. We're not exactly sure who's going to play Sunday. JJ Liam Cohen was asked who will play Sunday. Will the starters play Sunday? And he said what?
Yeah, I think there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, it's just we got to go get this injury report and make sure, because I don't really want to do.
By the way, he was asked if there's a chance they won't play.
They won't
we should
play.
say
Sorry.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, it's just we got to go get this injury report and make sure, because I don't really want to do too many. You're playing, you're not playing, that kind of deal. So we kind of need to just make sure that we're, if we are putting, Trevor, we make sure we're protected and we have the right guys in front. Same with the runners, things like that. Just making sure that we're not putting people in vulnerable spots because we are injured.
Right, I was just going to say, let me read between the lines. Trevor's not playing if we don't have 2 tackles.
That's the keynote right there, huh? Key word was, hey, got to protect Trevor. He's right. The uncertainty at the tackle position, you can't risk Trevor being out there.
Imagine if you're Nick Mullins right now.
Nick Mullins say, I'm the sacrificial lamb. That's really.
Oh, my gosh. Nick Mullins is going to walk out there. His left tackle is going to be Wyatt Milam, and his right tackle is going to be...
Fred
Johnson?
Fred Johnson, yes.
So Fred will be the left and Wyatt will be the right.
Yeah, well, either way. Yeah, that can't be happening.
That is not good, man.
No, that's not good.
That is not. I mean, my guess is they're probably not going to play Sunday. Yeah, I mean, those guys have technically 2 days, today and tomorrow, to heal, like Adoga and Anton. I mean, he said we're going to wait till we get to the injury report. So it sounds like they're not that serious, right? You would think that, correct?
Yeah, you would think that. But if they don't play this week, then the third preseason game, you don't play them then, do you?
I think you have to. You got to play them at least
you can't give
at least
them
a series or 2.
You can't give them no paid break vacation on the third game. They got to play.
But then you're really risking an injury with only a couple seasons before the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do at that point.
I don't know what you do.
Because it's very difficult to go into a season where you haven't seen live action other than jag on jag for that would then be almost that would be 4 weeks.
Well,
it would be 4 weeks.
Yeah, and you haven't seen anything from this team in the preseason or even in the scrimmage that would merit giving them a paid vacation. You need to see more. I wouldn't see more. Please, I need to see more, bro.
If they don't work Sunday, then don't work against the Dolphins. And I know everybody says, the joint practices, you get more out of it. Okay, fine. It doesn't mean it's just you don't stick them out there with the lights on and the jerseys on, man.
Well, that's what we do now. We need to practice.
If that's the case, and it's 4 weeks in between you're playing in a legit game where it's not jag on jag or a joint practice, that game one's going to be very tenuous, to say the least. I can tell you someone who's not tenuous.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Lauren Brooks.
Loquacious. That's what you could say about me.
Very loquacious, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Lauren Brooks.
That means talkative for people who aren't aware.
So Liam Cohen said today that we'll see if they play.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if the starters play.
Yeah, it was an interesting walkthrough today, that's for sure. A lot of guys working off to the side. A lot of guys that if I had told you before training camp these players are injured, we would have lost our ever-loving minds. And those key pieces are injured right now. And so, yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I'm already depressed and the season hasn't even started yet.
Was Anton working off to the side?
He sure was.
Okay, so he was moving then.
Yes, he was moving.
Okay.
Yes.
So then it's
Chuma Adoga was off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then Travis Hunter was not off to the side, but he wasn't obviously participating in the walkthrough. So, yeah, normally I'm the person who says I don't want to play the starters because I don't want them to get injured in the preseason, right? It doesn't matter, so don't get anyone injured. Well, at this point, they're getting injured in practice. They may as well play them in the preseason because they have to clean some stuff up.
Right. Were our friends Eric Armstead and Mason Smith working to the side as well?
No, they were not working to the side. So we have ramped up things a little bit. But today wasn't
the walkthrough, were they?
They were not doing the walkthrough, but today wasn't like a team drill thing. So it wasn't how we saw practice the other day, in other words.
They weren't walking through. They weren't off to the side either.
They weren't off to the side. I don't actually, now that I think about it, I didn't pay attention as to whether they were doing the walkthrough, but I don't think they were. So I don't know what's going on with this team. I don't know.
That's not good for Leon at all.
But I feel like Sunday afternoon is when people like me can relax a little bit. If those guys are out there playing in the game, if Mason Smith and Eric Armstead are playing in, starting or playing with
I'd
the
be shocked if
twos,
they played in that game.
but at least it would calm some of us down.
It would, but
myself.
it would be the most shocking thing we've seen all camp if all of a sudden those two are playing in a game. Shocked.
I just need them moving somewhere, doing something. Outside.
They were moving a little bit. Armstead was moving a little bit.
That's why.
At least yesterday in the scrimmage, Armstead was like with his teammates. We've seen him like so far away from everyone.
Right.
It seems like so. At least that has happened. But
they asked Liam about Mason Smith and what they need to see from him like before week 1, and it did not sound promising. He's like, we need to see him practice a lot. Like he didn't sound happy at all.
He played Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt they will. I'm just saying if we do get to see, like if Travis Hunter plays in the game on Sunday, that'll calm some people down too. But it just feels like there's a lot of panic around this team, and it wasn't supposed to be this way. We were supposed to be talking about how great Liam's play calling is, and look at the stable of running backs and these receivers. Nobody's gonna be able to catch them. That's what we were supposed to be talking about.
All right, you, Taylor, and Tommy Mack coming up.
That's right.
All right, thanks, LB.
Thanks. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right,
JJ, I thought you were gonna say. What do we need? What do we need to see from Mason Smith? I thought you were going to say less calories or something.
No,
that's typically what you've done over the last 3 weeks.
I have been cutting him off at the knees lately.
All right, for Leon, for JJ, for Joe, took a day off. I'm Matt Hayes. It's XLP. Coming up, Helmets and Heels and the Frangie Show, and then Blue and Hackett to round it up.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford. Jaguars.